Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with some more multiplayer races. For this session we are driving B-class cars that have to be front-wheel drive, and there are no engine swaps allowed for any of the vehicles. I've got a different route, I say a different route to normal with my choice. I've got the Veloster. My plan being with this one is it starts quite high in B class. I'd had very little in the way of PI to really do much upgrades. I've got off-road race tyres on it, and I got brakes and suspension, and that was kind of about it, really. I'm going for the theory of have a good base car. I know this thing handles fantastically. The Veloster is a great handling car, so I'm hoping that's going to carry through. Meanwhile, the course is kind of a little bit more along similar lines. The Mulegé as well, kind of modern cars. The focus is a little bit more kind of middle of the road. They've got some odds and ends. I mean, the 205 likely to be quick. The CRX likely to be not as fast as the Mulegé, but still likely to be fast. Tornado is one of those. And the engine swap, the fact that you can't swap the engine is going to make that slightly less good. But that's a very different route to have taken. The standard engine's not great in it. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see here. I mean, there is, of course, a chance some cars will not be running off-road race tyres. The majority probably will be, but some might have focused more on the tarmac races. We are through the first corner relatively nicely. In this, there was a few cars wandering wide. Now, the question is, how much speed can we take through here? Now, I have no aero on the car. Again, as has generally been my way of building, don't bother with aero. Sometimes when I have off-road race tyres, I will, but because I have so little PI to play with in this car, I figured it's going to be a good enough handling car to start with. 205 is a bit all over the twitchy place there. We will sweep past. We will have to clear the rocks out of the way, which is always a little bit of a nuisance, but we will take the lead of the race with the Veloster. Course is up to second at the moment. There's a big scrap going on behind that. We're going to have to make the most of the lead while we can. We'll make the most of the banking there as well, try and turn the car in through that section. So, yeah, we lead Corsa from 205. I'm not quite sure what's further back going on at the moment. We will try and run away as fast as we can while they're all in a big cluster. I'm not sure what's going to be coming forward, what's going to be fast. I think possibly there might be a Golf in amongst the mix. This is, to be fair, front-wheel drive in B-class is quite commonly a thing I will use in, say, less restrictive races. I do like using my front-wheel drives. In fact, I had an A-class front-wheel drive a little while, a few episodes ago, that was very, very competitive. Front-wheel drive in Forza games can be very fast. Get it right, and the things will be absolutely rapid. So, yeah, I'm always a fan of running the front-wheel drive car. So yeah, this sort of vehicle is not the most unusual thing to me. Oh, that's a bit too much understeer through there. We have so far I would say the Veloster is a good choice. Now there is a chance some of the cars a lot further back might be running on funky tyres. I don't think anybody's necessarily going to have been brave though in this one. I think I saw most of the cars running some form of off-road tyre. We've completely buggered off. I'm going to say it's because I can't imagine this is that much faster than everything else here, to be honest with you. Because I only had 50 PI to play with, and by the time I'd put the brakes on, it was a lot less than that. So I can't imagine the velocity. I mean, maybe this is just the perfect storm for the car, and it is an off-road built one. This is a track where our power-to-weight ratio is going to be down on quite a lot of vehicles. Things like the Clio, where Williams and CRX, 205, we will not have the power-to-weight ratio those cars have. Nowhere even close to what they are running. So, I'm going to say they should, in theory, certainly out-accelerate us. I was hoping this was going to be half decent. I really wasn't quite expecting this, to be honest. We've just gone. We have vanished away from the pack. There is a Volvo having a bad day. I think I had a missed checkpoint or something there. Now that might be on some funky tyres. Well, definitely doesn't look like it's got any grip at all. So it might be on some road tyres. So maybe that'll come good. I have been the one driving the semi-slick car on the dirt sometimes. And yeah, you can have a bad day with that one. Well, you can have a bad race. You can have very good races later on. But yeah, you can have some bad races to start with. We have vanished in this one. That Hyundai is quick there. Whether that will translate everywhere else, I don't know. But that was fast from the Veloster. And indeed, we are over a second clear of everyone. 205 gets second ahead of the Golf. CRX gets fourth with the Clio in fifth. The Corsa, that slipped down to sixth. Well, that had a good lap time. Just got stuck in all of that fighting ahead of the Focus McGann. Corrado, Golf. Tornado not quite worked around there. And the Volvo we saw missed a checkpoint and had trouble. That is a strong first showing from the Veloster, shall we say. So, on the dirt, the Hyundai proved very fast indeed. What about the tarmac? The Garden Circuit will be our next track. We are a fair way down in the field, so we're going to have to do this the hard way if we're going to make our way to the front. I'm really hoping I can get past the Tornado while we're in ghost mode. I know that's going to be a lot to ask. It might struggle off the line a little bit. It's so big. I want to get past it quickly. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there to see what we can do. I mean, the CRX I'm always worried about. Those things are fast. They're not Mugen fast, but fast still. The Clio Williams is directly in front of us. Expecting that one to be fairly quick. But, yeah, we're on a completely different surface now. I don't know how the cars are going to behave themselves. Tornado struggles a little bit. So, yeah, we are... I mean, now, the weight might have been what kind of helps a little bit in the dirt. I don't know. Perhaps give it a little bit more stability. Oh, didn't want to pop out of ghost mode there. That's unfortunate. And now we got stuck behind a Golf a little bit. I'm watching the Clio. I want to try and not let the Clio get too far away. We have got some straight line here, but we're going to get boxed in on the outside of all the Golfs, and that's the problem. Is the just ensnared in traffic. We are going to clear the Mark III now, which is something. Corsa can deal with that. Now we're catching the second of the Mark IIIs very rapidly. That was too ambitious, and that might cost me a lot of time. Oh, and then that's lagging something horrible. We are still going to get the checkpoint, though. Right, Veloster, use your straight line speed here. We cannot really afford to waste any more time, especially with the Clio Williams having got itself to the lead of the race. This time we're around the outside and we make it work. McGann's on a wonky line, and that line will not work through there. Bugger. We're up into sixth. I think the Clio Williams is gone in this one. There is some big lag going on from something, somewhere. There was a car a mile off the track. I think it might have disconnected now. I think it was the CRX has disconnected from all of this, so that will no longer play a part in this race. We are probably going to be in a battle for second now. Unless we're so much quicker a lap than the Clio Williams, I don't see how we can do it. We're going to get to the inside of the Mark III this time around, and that will move us on to the podium. Now it's to 205. Oh, Mark III is trying to fight back, although it's difficult going side by side through that final corner. It's so fast, and if you're off the racing line, you struggle to maintain momentum through there. However, we all got through it nicely. 205 is having a bit of a twitch all the way through there. Right, what can we do about chasing down a Peugeot? We can probably get it by the end of this lap, I would think. Lots of tripoding from that 205, of course. It is the way they are supposed to drive, I think. We are to the inside, and we will be passed and done. And that'll be us into second. Now, I've got to be a little careful because, as I said, I think these smaller, lighter cars will probably outturn me a bit. They don't outrun me in the straight. See, I was expecting them to out-accelerate me, but they don't quite do that. The Veloster does really well in a straight line. However, ultimately, there is to... I say there's a lot more bulk to get through the corner, and this is about a fairly light car, but we're going up against really light cars. So yes, there is a fair bit more bulk to get through the corner for me, in relative speaking terms, and that was a bit too fast into turn 1. And I've got to be careful doing that, because they're a little bit too far back actually to make the most of it. We're definitely not catching the clear. Much as we vanished in the first race, this time around, oh god, it's a Clio this race, and I'm having a terrible lap. We finally got through all the traffic, and I'm pissing away all my hard work at the moment. Right, stop driving like a plank, and actually get a good lap together, and make sure we don't get repassed. Although, it does look like the 205 and Golf were busy having a fight for a lot of that. In fact, now the Golf's getting swarmed by everything else, so it's been a bit of a mad race around here. I think we are clear. As long as I don't make a massive error, or a bit like that, that one we'll get away with. God, we have got a bit of understeer going on. I mean, it's to be expected to a degree with the vehicles. I was maybe expecting a little bit more grip from the car. I don't know. Yeah, still expecting too much of this. Thought to be more sensible that lap around. The answer to that was no. Yeah, we're really not catching the leader, but no one else is really going to be bothering us, I don't think, here. They're having their own tussle over the last spot on the podium. Curious to see what tyres that Clio Williams is on. Whether they've braved something like rally tyres, possibly. I don't think it is. I don't think it'd be as fast around the Caldera circuit if it was. I don't think you'd be that level of speed there if you were on rally compared to off-road race tyres. Of course, the rally tyres would give you the better grip on the tarmac. You'd be able to carry a lot more speed through these corners. I don't know how the weather affects rally tyres in off-road race, to be fair. As I'm kind of expecting a lot of us actually have gone for a fairly similar route. However, the Clio is going to take the victory. Rusky will win this. We will come home a distant second. Not helped by a bit of a poor start, but I think even ignoring that, we were never going to catch that car. The lap time, we are going to be a decent chunk. Yeah. Much like it was the Caldera circuit, this time it flip-flops and it's the Clio that dominates. The Veloster is probably the second fastest car around here. The Corsa not too bad. Again, not too bad. You know, a good mix from me back, but no one was even close to having an answer to that Clio. The real question is, what tyres is it on? That's what I want to pay attention to. It is on rally tyres by the looks of it that do not look like off-road race. So, okay, that would explain it. That would go some way to explaining it. We are back off-road for our second race, the River Scramble. I am hoping we will repeat the first race, to be honest, with the Veloster. The Clio, it starts a long way back, so it's going to be tough for the Clio. Although, of the circuits, this isn't the very worst not to have off-road race. I mean, you're always going to struggle, of course, for lap time. However, the dirt section is relatively fast. You don't have too many low-speed traction zones, but you do have a couple. So we will be better there than the Clio. I mean, I'm expecting we will be very strong. We're strong at the Caldera circuit. We're probably going to be strong here for my vehicle. We do seem to have some quite good straight line speed, which will help us on the sort of flat out dirt sections. We've got the tyres for the lower speed sections. We have got pretty good handling, a little bit understeery compared to some of the cars here, but yeah, we do seem to have a not bad top speed, which is always useful, and we're going to try and be a little bit cheeky here. Oh, they've popped out of ghost mode. We are going to be a little bit cheeky. The poor Ford is going to get sent the awkward way and sent through the puddle. We are going to brake early for there. Oh, the Corsa. See, I thought the Corsa was braking way too late. That's pretty good under brakes, actually. That did well to get stopped. I think what the Corsa is going to struggle with, potentially, is the straight line speed as we come up this hill. Although we don't reel it in as fast as I was hoping we would. We are there on the bumper, so we're going to have to do this the difficult way, because we're not going to just breeze past it up the hill. I'm trying to swap sides and try and get to a point where I can duck underneath it, and there we go. There was a gap. The Corsa left the door open, although we're going to leave the door open a little bit through this next phase. The Vauxhall's having a look. We will try and park it on the apex a bit there, and when we open up the steering. The Vauxhall's again going to pull alongside, but you're on the outside for the last corner. I don't think the Vauxhall's got the speed to outrun us there. Now, will they try and I'm sure they'll try and fight back. Will they be close enough to fight back in the near future? That is the question. We will slow. We know we struggle a little bit with the understeer through some of here, so that's why I'm being quite. I'm making the Veloster wide. I'm parking it on the apex here. I'm really making sure I get it stopped and slowed down, because I know we struggle a little bit with that understeer. We can pull away on the power. We'll go through the narrow part of the water. Here is probably where we're most vulnerable to that Vauxhall, especially if I miss a checkpoint. That would be a very dumb way to throw this all away. Oh, I thought I was about to miss a checkpoint there and piss away a fairly substantial lead. Thankfully, we did not. And yeah, we've got enough straight line speed in this car to make it annoying. I think the Corsa is a smidge better in some of these corners. I think it has got a little bit better handling, but it just can't match our straight line speed, and the handling's not enough to make up the lap time it loses in the acceleration zones and to my top speed. It'll come back at me a little bit down here. I mean, we don't have to be as defensive this lap around. Of course, now we are far enough away. I'm not having to take defensive lines. I'm not having to lose time by being defensive because the course is not close enough. And yeah, we can run free in this one, so to speak, and we are well clear of the rest of the pack. So the Ruski's Clio does pretty well considering it's on the not as good tyres for this. I mean, okay, it's not like it's running semi-slicks, but you know, the rally tyres are noticeably worse on off-road than the, I guess, specialist off-road race tyres that I have on the Hyundai, and as the Corsa has, and as quite a lot of cars have in this. But for the Clio to be mixing it with the likes of the 205 and so on that are on off-road race, is doing pretty well on the dirt. As I said, not the worst track in the world for those tyres. Yeah, we're pulling clear again. So, I mean, on the dirt, we have by far and away got the car to beat. By far and away the car to beat here. And I think for the Hyundai, with the lack of PI I have to work with, I think this is the way to go with the vehicle. With these set of races on the right tarmac. Oh, I say on the right tarmac. We might see in the next couple of races. There might be a chance we can give the Clio some trouble, because we will. See, my fear was Clio out accelerating me, but those rally tyres will have eaten up a lot more PI than the off-road race. So when I was talking about that power to weight ratio and everything, probably not quite going to be as I was saying. We might actually be faster than the Clio accelerating in a straight line, because we will, in theory, have a good chunk of power in comparison. We will have to wait and see, though, if we end up close to it, if we end up standing a chance at a perhaps less twisty circuit than the Gardens track that is very, very handling. Not the most handling, but still. We have just got to make no more mistakes, and we will get a victory number 2, pretty much. Yeah, it was a good fight. The course put up a good fight. It was a fun battle for, for the first lap and so, but ultimately it just doesn't quite have the speed that we do. Although it's a solid second place by the looks of it for the Vauxhall there. What is it? 205 is in 4th, just behind that Clio. So yeah, Clio is definitely not slow. Tornado's not quite worked in this one. That's all the way down the order. I mean, that has some very, very big tyres, which can help it, but it is heavy and a very lazy stock engine. I think the one that I built, pretty sure that one was engine swapped. Oh, this poor CRX can't finish a race without disconnecting. I mean, we don't know how fast the CRX is. I don't think it's a good off-road car particularly, but it just keeps disconnecting from all the races, so it's difficult to judge. Not a great final lap by me, but we'd built the gap. It didn't have to be at that point. It's victory number 2 for the Veloster. It once again proves to be the best off-road car. It's about a second clear of the rest of the pack. Oh, the 205 just beat the Clio across the line. Yeah, we're out second clear of the rest of the pack when it comes to the dirt circuits. I mean, yeah, we've got the right tyres, and the Veloster is performing nicely here. So speaking about the Tornado, I think it gets itself up to 7th by the end of it. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the tarmac holds for us. We are off to the Arch Circuit for our next race. Might stand half a chance here. If we can clear traffic quickly. I mean, I think the real thing is if we can get ahead of the Clio, we could probably make it difficult. This track, I mean, there's a long straight. It's a long straight that we're probably not going to be too bad on here. And if we can get ahead of the Clio, stay ahead. I mean, we're starting ahead of it, but I think it will launch faster than me. If we can be in front of it, I could probably defend and be annoying, basically. However, that is a very big if. That is a very big if. And it might just have too much grip for us at the end of the day. I don't think I've got too much to fear. I mean, the CRX I might have something to fear from if it stays connected. God knows what tyres that thing's on. It was not very good at the dirt, so that makes me think it's on something completely different to the rest of us. Maybe it's on streets or sports. I've never had much luck getting those to work on cars. For me, it's really semi-slicks, rallies, or off-road races are the way, or full slicks. Anything less than that has very rarely worked. Very occasionally vintage races worked on specific stuff. Oh, the Clio's missed a checkpoint. Well, oh no. Clio's reappeared. Clio's got a little bit of lag going on. Or the game's got a little bit of lag. I'm not sure what's lagging where. I mean, we have got ourselves ahead of the Clio, which is what we were after. The CRX might be the biggest threat, although that looks an absolute dog in the corners. So, I mean, we've got all versions of speed and grip and tyres and God knows what's going on. I mean, we are now up to second. Where is that Clio? Nobody really knows. It's apparently in fourth, but I sure as hell don't see it. So this is going to come down to whether the CRX straight line speed is going to beat my handling. That CRX looks very difficult to drive in these corners. We are just going to get to the inside at turn 1. I should have gone down to second for that drive off of that corner. The CRX is going to fight back. However, it's not going to be able to carry the same speed through here. We are potentially going to be able to run this around the outside, and indeed we do. And we will hold it. Now, what I've got to try and do is get far enough away. I don't know whether we can, but we can get far enough away. We are quite strong through this section here. The last lap around, we got kind of underneath the CRX coming through here. If we can, although no, this time around the CRX does it a lot better, although it won't be able to pass us into the final corner. You can have a look out that way, but you're not going to have anywhere to go. And sure enough, it can't hold it flat through the final turn. That might be what makes the difference. The Clio, through lag or a missed checkpoint or something, gets dropped back. I mean, we'll check the lap times, of course, for curiosity's sake, but it is kind of a non-factor as this race, as things have panned out here. Now, we have got to not make any more mistakes. Can't afford to run wide, can't afford to miss brakes or anything like that. Just got to be neat and tidy in this. The CRX is going back at us, actually, through there. It's carried surprisingly good speed through this first section. That was an annoying piece of street furniture for us. Will the CRX be able to be flat through there, or will it have trouble? Bloody street furniture again. Why does it get reset? That's the thing that annoys me, is it bloody gets reset. Because it's definitely been hit already in this race. So we're going to fire it back up the inside. Because again, I know if we're up the inside there, the CRX I don't think can beat us to the line. Because it can't do a pass through there. So it's carrying a lot of speed this time around. The CRX, now the tyres have warmed up, that CRX is now quite the scary prospect. It's going to look to the outside through turn 1, won't do that. He's not got the grip to make that one work at all. So we will hold station for the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hold it for the rest of the race, but we will have to wait and see. The Honda looks difficult. It seems to be one of those cars that if you get it right, it's quick, but if you get it wrong, or it's difficult to constantly get it right. Now I've got to the lead. I've actually not driven great with the lead. Just avoid some street furniture. That would make a big difference. CRX has had a bad lap this time around and is not at all within striking. Well, either the CRX has had a bad lap or I've just stopped driving like a plank, and I'm not sure quite which. It's a combination, maybe. Certainly me avoiding street furniture has been good this time around. CRX had a stronger that sort of final section than we did. Again, we should be too fast. I'm hoping we're going to be too fast through here. No, CRX is definitely... Now it's got some heat in those tyres, it is better. I mean, we still do outhandle it, but not by as much as we were. So, final lap time. Can the CRX stay connected for the entirety of the race? Will it find a way past? I don't think I'm going to have to quite defend up here just yet. We will run it through there as much speed as I dare. McGann's holding on to third, actually relatively well, that car. I've not really seen too much of it, but it's not really fallen back too far. We're a little bit overdriven there. The only thing is CRX won't be able to get underneath. There's not really much room, and I think it took out the lamppost and lost the momentum anyway. So we are through there nicely. CRX gets a little bit of understeer, loses some ground. It's going to come down to the run to the line, this one, I can tell you that much already. We will try and get it as nicely off this corner as we possibly can, and it's pretty good from the Veloster. One more turn to go. How well can the Honda get through here? Will it understeer? It understeers a bit. It can't quite carry the speed. It pushed us all the way. It's going to get a run, but it won't catch us. Great race. There wasn't lots and lots of positional changes, but that was a very, very good fun race. CRX pushed us hard in that one. I don't think neither of us actually would have had an answer for the Clio, but we weren't as far off as we have been at previous tracks yet. Me and the Honda, pretty much identical. McGann very close in lap time as well. As I said, it didn't really go anywhere. McGann was up there in terms of pace. Yeah, Clio unlucky with whatever went on at the start. I think it was slightly lag related. Something weird happened to the Clio and it got dropped back. It was very fast. But yeah, victory number 3 for the Veloster. I'm liking this car. I think my plan has mostly worked with it. We head on to our final race at the Lookout Circuit. Not a bad spot on the grid. I'm pretty sure the Clio is going to vanish away at the front if it gets clear of us. I mean, we're going to be fast down the straights, but the end part of the lap is so technical, and that Clio has shown so fast on the tarmac. And this kind of long, never-ending turn 2, 3, 4, 5 all mixed into one. We will just have bucket loads of understeer that, well, the Clio won't. As fast as we can be, I mean, we might be able to defend from it if we have got significantly more straight line speed than it. I just don't know. I don't think we've got enough straight line speed to be able to defend against the grip that thing is going to have in comparison to us. It should be an interesting matchup between me and the CRX. We are both on the same tyres. The CRX is on off-road race as well. So yeah, that's going to be a lot lighter than I am. We probably have a bit bigger tyres, and we do have a much more modern... The CRX is a good chassis, we just have a lot more modern chassis. Definitely on cold tyres we're a lot better. That thing looks sketchy until the back tyres are up to temperature. Here comes that Clio already working its way through the pack. Yeah, I mean, if we can pass the CRX early, we again might be able to defend from it. I think our car is probably a bit easier to drive from what we've seen. However, I suspect the Clio might get us soon. We might end up defending from the Clio. We might be the CRX's best friend. If we defend from the Clio valiantly, it might give the CRX enough time to get away. Who knows? Who knows how this one is going to pan out? That Renault's so... yeah. That's the problem, because the Renault's so light, it's so fast accelerating. It doesn't have the top speed that I do, but it doesn't matter, because its acceleration is still pretty good. So, you know, we're not running on a track where top speed is going to be a thing. And I have absolutely messed up turn 1. Not going to be a valiant defense. Not that I think I really could have defended against that, to be honest, for very long. But we might have messed a turn 1 anyway, so we kind of made life easy. Poor driving by me. My best bet for passing the CRX now is if the Honda loses a lot of time trying to defend from the Clio. That's sort of what I'm hoping for. As I said, all the Clio I think has to do really is wait. It might be able to get past here even. It might have enough grip. CRX will give the Renault a better run for its money in terms of acceleration, and indeed CRX shuts down that line of approach. It's the never-ending right-hander. If at any point the CRX wanders wide, I think the Clio will have it, much as it did me. I'll say wanders away. If it ends up in a slightly awkward position, I think the Clio will just be able to breeze past it. We just don't quite have the... Oh, Clio bumped the wall that time. Yeah, we don't quite have the acceleration of those two. And I'm not quite as good in the corners as I would like to be. The Focus has got some speed around here. We haven't seen that much in this session so far. Come on, Veloster, let's try and get back in the fight. I really need them to start attacking and defending if we're going to get involved. The only thing... Oh god, the main thing I have over those two is I'm just a lot more because it's a lot easier to drive. However, consistency is questionable. We've had a few offs and a few explorings, and this time the Clio might have finally done it. Yeah, it's got so much more grip. Great pass. It's a long, long way to go. Now, the CRX is going to fight back. The CRX will, by the look of it, have a bit more straight line speed, and they're going to send it to the inside at turn 1. And this is what I wanted to see, because now the Clio's starting to get compromised, and the CRX is starting to get compromised, and they're both out wide. Clio ducks underneath, and does not quite make that one stick, and it's not going to be able to make it stick on the way up the hill, because the CRX is faster. That's good. If anything, Focus is catching me and we're catching them. Well, they're fighting so hard. So maybe we're going to run out of laps, I think, to do anything, unless they really beans it up. Clio's looking, but it's not going to find anything around there. CRX is doing well at defending at the moment. It's this corner where the Honda is really vulnerable. And again, it's exactly the same move we saw last time. The Honda has parked it very, very nicely. It's just... It's just made it awkward enough that the Clio doesn't have anywhere to go. The line the Clio wants is just not quite quick enough to pass that CRX, but once more the Honda's got to not let the Renault get underneath it through this long, long corner. And this is where it's easy to make a mistake when you've got the understeery car, much like I have. Clio's underneath, but it's underneath at the wrong point. It's underneath at the exit. And the Honda can just outrun up the hill. The Focus is catching me, but I think it's just going to run out of time. It is getting a little closer every lap, but it's not close enough to have a look on this final lap of the race. Is the Clio going to send it to the inside here? It is. The Clio has got alongside, and the Clio has got the pass. I thought the CRX was going to be far enough away to be able to defend from that one, but the Renault bided its time. It chose its moment well, and got the inside when it needed to, because it didn't want to have to try to go around the outside again on that corner. It saw the difficulty of it, and it is going to be the Clio that takes victory. The CRX will come home in second. Great battle at the front. We just didn't quite have the pace there. We got to watch a great battle, though, which is always something at least. We were close enough to watch, but not quite close enough to participate. The Focus was quick there too. We had I think that must have been the final lap I got down to 57.4. We found a little bit of speed in the car. Yeah, did not have an answer for the Clio. However, another strong showing from the Veloster and a good race ahead of us. Yeah, I'm pleased with that car. Didn't really know how it was gonna be. Definitely of the more modern hatchbacks, if you like. The Veloster was the best of the lot. It had some decent straight line speed, decent handles, a touch understeery perhaps, but yeah, overall, I'm pleased I went with this car. I enjoyed driving it, and it was, yeah, pretty rapid, especially on the dirt. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus the Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.